Welcome back to episode 34 of Against the Call. Today, we're going to have a pretty short lineup. Last episode went a little overboard, 1 hour and 50 minutes. Pretty incredible. I don't know how that happened. But this one might be a little bit shorter. No promises. I feel like every time I say it's going to be shorter, it's not. But for the first segment, we're going to have our pregame as usual. Then we're going to have the men's Final Four outlook, the women's Final Four outlook, the 2023 McDonald's All-American Game recap, as well as the NBA Hall of Fame inductees. Our segment In the Air, who are current rookies you could see going to the Hall of Fame. Lunch Table Talk, ChiefsAholic. I'm excited about that one. Mount Rushmore, biggest fans of professional teams. And then our draft day, best things growing up as a 2000s kid, like me and Michael obviously did. And then the last segment will be the post game. So, Michael, man, not a big week in the sports world. Not a lot is going on. But if you are a big basketball fan, there's definitely quite a lot going on. So, obviously, for the pregame, make sure you guys are using our code against the call for all your purchases at W. Their website is www.w.gg. You get 10% off your next purchase. So it's obviously a great deal. And then we are proud to, obviously always announce that we are sponsored by SeatGeek. So make sure you're using our code ATC. It's one of the simplest little codes out there to get $20 off your first purchase. And if you've already made a purchase on there, just go ahead and make a new account with a new email. It's that easy. Shout out to our boy Jay over at Jay's Fifth Down Podcast. He used our code last night for
For the Hawks game, right?
the Atlanta Hawks game. And they actually ended up winning. So that's a little bit of against the call luck right there, I think. Um,
See,
you
if you use our code, then if you're going to see a game, your team's going to win.
yeah,
Certified.
it's true. It's true.
If they don't, you will get your money back guaranteed.
It's not from us.
Yeah, just not from us.
Email customer support, whatever you gotta do. But, just make sure you guys are subscribing.
Joking that doesn't happen, by the way.
Yeah, no, not at all. But make sure you guys are subscribing, please. It means the world to us. But let's just move into the men's Final Four outlook. So, Michael, it's going to be a pretty big Saturday. You got the Final Four coming up. It's always one of the best times of the year, March Madness, and then you get into April whenever it's the Final Four. And this year it's going to be in Houston, Texas. The court looks amazing. It's all space themed. I love it. And this has actually been the most madness in March ever. And
I
like
saw
that,
there's like a lot of upsets happened.
a lot of upsets have happened. And this is the first time this past year was the first time in NCAA history that there wasn't a one seed in the Elite Eight.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, the
that
highest seed is 4 at UConn.
Yeah. But this is the Final Four, so obviously, the seeds get crazy right here. I don't know all the stats between all these seeds, but the first game is going to be fifth seeded San Diego State University versus ninth seeded FAU. And ninth seeded FAU, it's feeling a little underseeded for them. They've been talking about how they don't feel like it's a Cinderella story at all for them.
Hmm.
They only had 3 losses during the regular season. They're proving to be a very, very strong force in this tournament. I,
Yeah,
they talk about how they want to be a selfless team and they're just here to win. And it seems like they're doing that to an extent. I got to say, during the Tennessee game, whenever there were some bad calls on Tennessee, the FAU players were just smiling about it. They acted really cocky about it, but they're saying they're selfless. So I'll listen to what they're saying, I guess. But,
yeah.
Dusty May, he's the head coach for FAU. Great story, honestly. Student manager at Indiana, and now he's leading a team in a CUSA conference all the way to a Final Four as a ninth seed. That's incredible. But the first thing I want to say is I want to give my players to watch in this game. At San Diego State University, Matt Bradley is the guy to watch for that team. He's leading the team in points with 12.5 a game. He's shooting 40.1% from the field. Very solid guy. He came up very clutch in that Creighton game. The ending of the Creighton game, Michael, a little bit controversial. There was a controversial call. Obviously, this is against the call, but we kind of missed like our opportunity
Are
to
you
talk.
against that call?
I kind of am actually. But that's for another time. Maybe we could have a whole, segments about calls that we're against later on. But other than that, FAU's guy to watch. I don't even know how to pronounce his first name correctly. Vladislav. Yeah, Vladislav Golden. He leads the team in rebounds with 6.6 per game, and he's always getting offensive rebounds, which is very, very clutch in these games. He's a very big guy. I don't know what culture he's from, but obviously if it's from like, Russian, Serbian, any of those descents, we've seen guys like Jokic who have just absolutely dominated the game. And yeah, he's going to be a guy to watch. And in this game, Mike, I'm excited for this one. I think I'm more excited for this game than the Miami UConn game. But who do you have in this game?
I got FAU.
FAU, yeah. FAU is a team that they're ready to win it all. Like, and but I do see them, which I just want to put this out here. They knocked off my team, Tennessee. And that's a heartbreaker right there. A lot of bad calls that game. I don't want to get into it all. I don't like making excuses. Tennessee lost. They sucked that game. Like they've sucked a few games over the regular season. And FAU, they just came out stronger, and you got to give it to them. And FAU, I'm gonna say this right now on the podcast. I'm rooting for FAU to win it all, and the reason for that is not only are they in Florida, I like them better than Miami, and they're a smaller school and they're a ninth seed. They're the biggest underdog in this tournament right now. And if you know me in March Madness, when all my teams go out, it's time to root for the biggest underdog there is. So I'm gonna take FAU, but I do think that SDSU, San Diego State, is gonna win this game, and that's based on all the what they've won against during this entire tournament. Knocking off Alabama, probably the biggest accomplishment that any team could make in this competition. And they were able to do it. And they have a lot of skill and they have a lot of experience. And that's what wins a lot of these games. And being a fifth seed, it feels like they should have been a two seed in this tournament from the way they've been playing. But after that, the next game is going to be the fifth seeded Miami versus fourth seeded UConn. And it's cool to see UConn back at this high of a level. It's been a minute since they've been here. It's been since like 2014 since they won it all with Kemba Walker. Great, great series right there. But yeah, so players to watch in this game. UConn has a dog, Michael. His name is Adama Sanogo, and he leads the team in points per game with 17.1. He's shooting 60.2% from the field. 10% over 50% is incredible. And he's leading the team in rebounds too, 7.5 per game. So this guy is becoming the face of the Final Four. I think he's the best player in the Final Four this year. And
Yeah,
then
he's looking like it.
yeah, like, obviously he's leading the team in a lot of things. And then for Miami, I would say the guy to watch is Isaiah Wong, who's averaging 16.2 points per game. He's shooting 44.7% from the field. And he's came up big in that Texas game that happened. I don't know how Texas blew that lead, by the way. That's crazy. But we're not covering the Elite Eight. We're going to be covering this Final Four. So, Michael, who do you got in this game? UConn
I
versus.
got I got Miami mainly because I just want to see a Florida matchup.
Yeah, that's what
And
I've seen people say.
however, looking at this matchup predictor, they got UConn winning 76. There's a 76% chance they're
Yeah,
winning.
I think the line on it is by like 5.5 points too. So, it's pretty incredible. And I like you said, I mean, this game is harder than most of these games. Like these Final Four games, they're very tough because all four of these teams are evenly matched.
Mhm.
And that's the thing with this Miami team. I think that they're ready to go all the way, especially after beating Texas. That was unexpected, in my opinion. But they got here. They're in the Final Four. They're ready to make a stance. But UConn, they've been here before, and I don't know. I'm gonna take UConn in this match. I think it's gonna be a UConn San Diego State University finals matchup, but we'll see what happens. That's gonna wrap it up for the men's Final
So
Four.
you got UConn versus San Diego State in the final,
Yeah,
but you're rooting for FAU.
yeah,
Hmm. Two opposites here: Miami, FAU, and then you get the total opposites.
yeah.
Hmm.
Mine's a little less biased though, but um,
Riley, our friend Riley got riled up and hates FAU. He wants them to lose. He was saying,
yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. I had to overcome that. I wanted them to lose a lot, um, but then I realized you got to root for the Cinderella story. Um, and also FAU, I haven't had any problems with them up until they beat my team. So I got to give it to them. And then also, just UConn. I don't. I like that's the thing. I don't care about any of these teams. I don't care who wins this tournament. I really don't at this point. I don't give two craps. So, anyways, let's just move on to the women's Final Four. And the women's Final Four is actually a lot better than the men's, and that's pretty big to say, obviously. But this isn't uncommon. A lot of women's Final Fours show the best of the best better than the men's do. Um, so the first game I want to talk about is the number one seed South Carolina versus the two seed Iowa. And this is probably the biggest game of this tournament. And Michael, you got to know that there is this beast on Iowa, bro. And her name is Caitlin Clark. Okay. And Caitlin Clark, she's going to be very big in the WNBA. I can already tell because this chick in the Louisville game that she just played in that they won to get to the Final Four, she dropped 41 points, 10 rebounds, and 12 assists, as well as 3 steals. And she stands at 6 foot. She's an absolute like she's crazy at this game. And a lot of people over Twitter, stuff like that, they're calling her one of the greats of women's college basketball tournament. And I can obviously see it. She's also become the first player in D1 history with 900 points and 300 assists in a season.
"Dang,
So this Iowa team is very, very, very solid with her leading the way. And then on top of that, you're going to have South Carolina, who has yet to lose a game. And on top of that, I saw a stat today saying that South Carolina has held their teams that they've played against under their scoring average for 81 straight games.
yeah, they're
So,
undefeated this year, right? With like 36 wins or something."
yeah. So, they won it all last year. They're basically the new UConn of women's basketball, um, which is cool to see. But then the next game is going to be, or you know what? Who do you have in this game?
Ooh, give give me South Carolina.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. They're too dominant. Like they're way too dominant. And despite Caitlin Clark going off for Iowa, I don't know if it's enough to stop the defense that's on South Carolina this season. The next game is going to be three-seeded LSU versus number one seed Virginia Tech. Sadly, Virginia Tech beating the Lady Vols, but they're one seed and they've proven that. LSU is very, very good as well. They only have like 2 losses. Very, very
They
cool.
beat Miami, SMH. I was
Yeah.
rooting for Miami.
Nah. Well, the Miami, they do
They
have
had
the
the two twins,
twins. Yeah, they have those two.
SMH. They had the TikTok twins.
Yeah. I love watching their TikToks. But anyways, uh, yeah, nothing much here to say other than LSU. I think can pull this off. I think that they've been a great team this season. And Virginia Tech, they have obviously proven that they're deserved to have that one seed. But I've seen the way LSU has played this entire season, especially leading the SEC at some points, other than being behind South Carolina most of the time. So I'm going to take LSU in this game.
Yeah, give me LSU as well.
It's going to be an SEC finals matchup, which we love here. It just means more. Um, but other than that, let's move on to something we can both pretty much talk about. Very exciting times for the high school athletes, for the senior
Yep.
2023 McDonald's All American game recap. And this has been a showing of the next generation stars. Michael, I don't know if you knew this, but Pejas Stojakovic, his son played in this game. Andre Stojakovic. Please don't crucify me if I'm saying that wrong, but and then obviously, the biggest name out of this entire matchup for the men's was LeBron James' son Bronny playing in this game.
Mhm.
I've seen all the videos LeBron overreacting about just about everything Bronny does, but it's been cool to see him play in this
I
game.
mean, it's his son, so I think we all would
Yeah,
overreact.
exactly. I know I would, and my son will probably be better than Bronny, but um,
Mine
the
will be better than yours.
true, I'm sure. But anyways, Dewan Wagner's son, DJ Wagner, also played in this game. And DJ Wagner is the first ever third generation All American to play
Mhm.
in this game. So very historic McDonald's All American game all around. But what I will say is DJ Wagner, he's a Kentucky commit. He had all 19 of his points in the second half, which led the East to the victory. He took home co MVP honors alongside Isaiah Collier, who's a USC commit, and who also finished with a game high 25 points. And, Bronny James, you're obviously going to hear about what he did. He put on a 3-point shooting clinic, going 5 for 8 from deep with 15 points. So
Yeah.
Bronny didn't get co MVP honors, but he was draining threes like it's crazy. He also had some good dunks that I was
He was
able
in the dunk contest, right?
yeah, in the dunk contest. Yeah, he had some pretty cool ones. But that white dude, I forgot his name. He was killing it though. That one underneath his legs that he
Oh
popped,
yeah.
he bounced the ball up and then caught it with it. I don't even know how that was
Has
possible.
Bronny committed anywhere?
No, he's undeclared.
He's a senior this year too, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of, I mean, it goes all over the place. For a while, I thought it was going to be Duke. He was wearing a lot of Duke merch his freshman year, and LeBron loved Coach K. But I think that that might not happen anymore as Coach K's left. Um, a lot of people have been saying Bronny's going to go to Oregon and like USC, even something in the Pac-12. So that's
Hmm.
going to be something to look out for. But anything about the men's game? I have a little bit about the women's game.
No, I have nothing really.
Really? Okay. So
Well, wait, what's the school LeBron wanted to go to? That he said that if he didn't go to the NBA, he would have gone there. I,
Ohio State.
why doesn't Bronny go there?
Well, that's the thing. They don't live like in Ohio. Like, I mean, Bronny has lived in Ohio certain points of his life, but Braun lived there his entire life. So, there might not be that instant connection for Bronny. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Bronny's lived in LA, Miami. He's obviously lived in Cleveland when Braun was there, but he's kind of a kid and stuff like that. So who knows? Maybe he does want to do that, but at the end of the day, who knows? Like Bronny might go to the G League. Like that's obviously a
Oh yeah,
possibility.
that is a good. Honestly, I could honestly see that happening
Yeah, I could too.
because LeBron can easily get him called up too.
Exactly.
Like
Just
just he goes to the G League, he can sign where he wants, aka the Lakers. Lakers call him up. So I mean, that's probably if he wants to go to NBA fast, not want to go to college. That's his best
yeah, but
option.
but that's the thing though. I think it's different with the kids that go to the G League because I think they still have to get drafted. So there's no
Uh,
guarantee that you get called up.
unless you get undrafted.
It's more you get drafted. Unless you get undrafted, but he's not going to get undrafted, obviously.
You
Um,
think he would go first round if he enters the draft?
oh yeah, I mean, and it's not just because of his skill; it's because of the fact of what LeBron said. If wherever Bronny goes, he's going.
LeBron shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the truth, and I think that will be the funniest thing ever is if Bronny gets
He
picked
goes
by
to the
the Magic.
Magic.
Yeah, I think that would be the
I kind of
karma.
honestly I would love to see that happen because
Um,
for two reasons, just because of what he said, and I can go see LeBron, like
well,
LeBron and Bronny,
tickets are gonna be through the roof.
and just because of that, you can use our code ATC on SeatGeek for $20 off your first purchase. So that
That's
if you
fair,
want to go see LeBron in
and the
Orlando,
tickets will only be like 150. So then that's a little bit of a paycheck, but it's fine if you want to see Braun and Bronny. Um, but anyways, a little bit from the 2023 girls McDonald's All American game. They set a scoring record. Highest scoring girls game with Team West defeating Team East 110 to 102. Very, very high scoring. Notre Dame commit Hannah Hidalgo set the girls scoring record with 26 points. And yeah, that's about it for the girls. Super historic game, but you know, um,
says two things. Yeah, well, that's about it. So
yeah, it really was. I mean, like it was just a historic game all around for Hannah Hidalgo getting her scoring record for the McDonald's game for the girls, and then obviously they just killed it with the points. Um, but yeah, anything you got to say about the McDonald's game?
Honestly, I thought we were just talking about the men's.
Bro, there's a female one too, Michael. Okay, like,
Oh, and good for them. That's good. That's good. That's
and it
awesome.
was
That's awesome to see.
historic too.
It's historic. It was historic. Um, let's move on.
Jeez. Okay, let's move on to the NBA Hall of Fame inductees. Michael, take it away.
All right, so there, the finalists were Dirk Nowitzki, Dwayne Wade, Pau Gasol, and Tony Parker for the players, along with Greg Popovich for a coach. Uh,
And
this was a
Becky
great class,
and Becky Hammond.
and Becky Hammond, yeah. But this was a great class, honestly.
I think it's one of the better classes we've seen in a little bit.
All these guys deserved it for sure. It was easy, honestly. But however, it's pretty easy to get in the Hall of Fame at basketball. So I just want to say that just pretty easy.
Well, I mean, at the same time, like you got to realize that with basketball, it's a lot different than football and baseball and hockey, all those because of how short the rosters are. You're playing with like 12 guys sometimes, 12 the entire game. And most of the time, if you're a starter, then you might like if you're a starter your entire career, you have a very good shot at making it to the
Yeah,
Hall.
exactly. But I feel like they can maybe tighten it up. That's what she said. But
I don't know. All right, you're gonna have to explain that one for me because Dwayne Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, Greg
no, these guys definitely deserve.
Popovich.
Don't. I'm not saying these guys. I'm just
Then who's
saying
the guy that doesn't deserve it? Who's a guy that has made the Hall of Fame that doesn't deserve it in the NBA?
here. I actually had this in for the next segment, but I'll bring it up. Hold on. We want to talk about it now.
All right.
All right, these are some players that I don't think deserved it. I did some research because I'm obviously I don't know everyone that's in the Hall of Fame, but my I I can't say these names very good, so just stick with me here. Drazen Petrovic,
Yeah.
Drazen Petrovic. Uh,
He was a good
yeah,
player.
he played. He was one of the league's top shooters, but until a car accident, unfortunately. But at the time, he was on the Nets and he averaged 22 points per game over 2 seasons, 2.5 seasons. And then he went to the Trailblazers, where he wasn't a huge factor in the team. He shot around 43% in 4 seasons of his career. Uh, and then he was decent at defense, but he became a right back into the starting lineup when he joined the Kings, and he started averaging around 20 points again. But he averaged 20 points around 5 times in his career, and he played for I think 10 years. Don't really think. I mean, I just feel like players should be averaging at least 18 plus their entire career to make the unless they're like a unless it comes rebounds come into play.
When did
Then he
like I don't know like as much about him as like other players you might be able to mention, but the thing is like I don't know if he was put in it after his car accident. Like there could have been multiple reasons why he was put in it. You understand?
yeah, but
Like
let me think of there was a honestly let me think. Let me look at this. Hold on. Probably okay. Yeah, I don't think Dennis Rodman should be in the Hall of Fame.
okay, nah, that is just
I don't.
absolutely insane. You're talking about one of the greatest defenders that have ever played. Listen, do you not hear what I'm saying? One of the greatest defenders to ever play in the NBA, and you're saying, I don't think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Not to mention all of his rings. Not to
Well, he
mention
was kind of
what.
carried by his point range. Just saying.
Okay, well,
And
you could say every player on that team was carried by the their other teammates. You could say Jordan was. You could say Pippen was.
Jordan. Okay, Jordan was not carried by his
You could
teammates.
say
Jordan's the
Tony
greatest of all
Kukoc
time.
was. You could say Tony. You could say Steve Kerr was. You could say anybody on that team was carried by their teammates. Just like you could say anybody on the Warriors was
I
carried
think
by
Dennis
their
Rodman
teammates.
was the worst player on that team.
You're talking about a starter. A starter.
I know he's a good defender. Don't get me wrong, but his offense was shit.
That doesn't matter.
I think you need to have at least be good at least at both.
That does not matter. when it comes to the Hall of Fame. If you're super good at offense but super good at super bad at defense, you can still make the Hall of Fame.
That's why I think it's stupid. I think you just need to be somewhat good at the other position.
No, that doesn't.
Uh, It's way too easy
Because,
to get in, dog.
bro, you could have 40 points a game. You could average 40 points a game and not do shit on defense, right?
Okay, that's different though. That's 40. If you average 40 points a game
Okay,
for
fine,
your,
30 a game. You could
that's
average that
still
and still not
that's
do
still good. That's amazing.
exactly. Is that not Hall of Fame worthy?
30 points a game.
Yes.
If you would average that
Plus
multiple times in your
assists, plus
career, yes.
rebounds. Okay, but not even multiple. Like, okay, let's say like 5 times in your career, but you're bad on defense.
Okay, but how many times would you be playing in your career? Like how many seasons? 5 times out of how many seasons?
Let's say like 10 or 12. Like half of your career is Hall
Half
of
your career. Then yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Exactly. The same goes for like if you're averaging over 15 rebounds a game, but you're only averaging like 10 points, and you do that consecutively for years after years, and you're rebound leaders and steal leaders, whatever, that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Hmm. I just think it's way too easy to get in the Hall of Fame for basketball. Even though there's shorter amounts of players, that doesn't mean anything. Like, okay, you have 12 men on the team. I mean, look,
Hey, who is somebody else that doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame though?
I have a list here. It says Bill Bradley, he's in the Hall of Fame. He was a member of the Knicks. He was elected in 2000 for the team. He averaged just 12 points a game and 3 rebounds. His career field goal percentage was only 45%, and he made the Hall of Fame. And let me see let me pull up this one.
Yeah, but at the same time, like you're not saying enough of like what were some of his accolades. Like he could have had different rings with different teams. He could
He
have had
won 2 championships with the Knicks.
And then on top of that, he could have had some sort of records that he set for the Knicks, stuff like that. Like you're not mentioning everything that's with the players. You're just saying, "Oh, this is how much they average." Blah 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 blah. Okay. Well,
I look at the stats when it comes to.
stats matter, but so do accolades. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm just throwing this out here. You might hate me for this, but in 2K, they make you get certain accolades so that way you make the Hall of Fame. Is that not true? You have to win the NBA championship. You have to, if however many MVPs you get, blah 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 blah. However many scoring records you get, blah 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 blah. Like it goes on and on. The accolades matter.
Okay.
And that can also be for an individual team as well. Like if you set a team record, like that goes into play as well.
It doesn't say that he made any team records or anything. So I don't just I'm just looking at what it's telling me at the stats and stuff. And I don't if you're averaging your throughout your career 12 points, 7 rebounds, and
Okay, then okay, let's talk coaches then. Do you think Becky Hammond deserves it?
okay, I don't coaches is different though. I don't
Okay,
even know
but
anything about them.
she just won an NBA championship, like or sorry,
I don't understand how
championship.
player like because Greg Popovich is still the coach. I don't really know how they're in the Hall of Fame when they're still coaching.
I don't understand that either, but I do understand it from the standpoint of he's the most winning, like
Well,
winning.
yeah, I'm not saying he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
I don't know.
I don't really understand.
I don't
I just don't
understand
understand that.
because Becky Hammond's still coaching too.
I don't care about coaches really. If I think if coaches win championships, then they should be in the Hall of Fame because they won championships as the coach.
Then what if a player wins a championship?
That's different though. The coach is literally one person leading the team. Like yes, they have their assistant
Yeah,
coaches and
but
stuff, but it's their plans and everything.
exactly, they have multiple other people behind them. On top of that, so do players. Like one person can't lead a team to a championship. Just,
LeBron James.
the coach isn't on the floor. The coach is there to be like to give the plays to
In
motivate.
basketball, one player could pretty
That.
much lead the team to a championship, maybe not win it, but they LeBron James
LeBron
carried
did,
his
but
Cavs team.
LeBron James is totally like a once in a lifetime phenomenon. Because look at
Michael
Luka.
Jordan.
Look
You
at
say so.
Michael Jordan had his help though in his
I know. I'm not saying
championship.
that. I'm saying. So are you saying LeBron's better than Jordan? You're saying
I'm
Jordan
not
couldn't do what
saying
LeBron
that.
did?
I'm not saying that at all. In fact, I like this isn't even about the goat debate right now. You're trying to switch it on me right now. Luca, for example,
What about him?
He's barely even making the play in this year. One of the best players that we've seen this current year, or current years, plural. Sorry. Is he going to lead that team to a finals? No.
Giannis.
Giannis had Chris Middleton,
I know.
Drew
I'm just saying,
Holiday.
but like I think
He
Giannis, if he
had,
down Chris Middleton, could still lead a team to a championship
well, he
if
did.
he's healthy.
No, I mean, I don't know about that. Chris Middleton was basically like his Scottie Pippen that year.
Hmm. All right. Well, just saying, it's too easy to get in the Hall of Fame in basketball.
I mean, I don't know so much about that. You're seeing it from the standpoint of MLB, where it's very hard. Like that's your main sport. That's why you're saying that. And then at the same time, dude, I think that like whenever I watch the NFL Hall of Fame, there's players like I never even heard of that make it. The NFL
But
Hall of
that they're
Fame,
also old players that haven't made it until literally now. It takes them years to get in still, like
yeah, and
years.
their stats don't like match up to some of the other players' stats are like right now. Like you understand? That's where like
So are you
NFL.
saying NFL is easier than basketball to get into?
I mean, I'm saying that both of them like have different criteria. That's all I'm saying.
Hmm.
Yeah, which is
Okay.
true. They do. I mean, I
Yeah.
think the NBA, like anybody that goes in the NBA Hall of Fame deserves it. I think anybody that goes in any Hall of Fame deserves it.
You think every single player that's in Hall of Fame deserve it?
Yes. Like if Matt Ryan goes to the NFL Hall of Fame, I'm not going to complain, which is in the talks right now.
I'm not saying that's not. I mean, he's put on like multiple reasons why he should be in the Hall of Fame though. So
Like there's never a Hall of Fame awards that I watch and I'm like they don't deserve to be in it. Like you know what I mean? Like that's never crossed my mind.
if Philip Rivers makes the Hall of Fame, what do you think he deserves it?
I mean, if he makes it, then I'll be fine with it. He was one of the best quarterbacks. Like he led one of the best offenses
Do
one
you think he
season.
should be in the Hall of Fame?
This topic is getting way off hand. Well, I think Philip. I mean, I don't have all the stats in front of me. I think that if he would have went to the playoffs a little bit more, maybe. Do I see him going in the Hall of Fame? Not for a while. Like not for a while. Like I don't. He for sure is not gonna be first ballot. I don't know. I don't know, Mike. Do you?
I
It's
mean,
it's it's tough to say because where I don't know exactly where he ranks, but I think he's like at least top 15 for like most like passing yards, stuff like that. And like that kind of pushes his agenda to make the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. Um,
hmm, yeah, I agree with that.
so don't quote me on that. I think he might be, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Let's move on. Let's move on. We got a whole show to do, man. Come on. But so that's gonna do it for the NBA Hall of Fame inductees.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. If you're watching this, congrats. So let's get into our next segment. In the air, who are current rookies you could see going to the NBA Hall of Fame? Michael will start us off.
Uh, you see, that's hard because it's like early in the career, dude. Like, that's what's hard with this one.
It's
But
this is our first year. Like it's you know
yeah,
who
but
knows what's paying out the next 20 years for them.
if what I'm looking at out of the players, I think Paolo Banchero has the best chance because I'm looking at how they did this year, and therefore I'm saying Paolo would be number one that I think of. I mean, he's having a great year for the Magic. He's their face of the Magic now. And then after that, I could see Jalen Ivey or Jalen Williams going
Yeah,
if they continue to do what they're doing,
I
and
agree.
maybe. Wait, go ahead.
I agree with you. Like with all those names. But
And if Chet
yeah,
Holmgren does good when he actually starts, if he lives up to his hype, maybe even him.
possibly. Yeah, I remember the other day like sending you the thing with Chet Holmgren might come in for a game. I was like, I totally forgot he existed for a minute. But But that's the thing with
Hey, listed as questionable now.
yeah, and we were talking about accolades earlier with Paolo. Most likely going to win Rookie of the Year. That's already an accolade that he has under his belt, and at his rate that he's playing, literally his first season, he's going to be a star. No matter what team he goes on, he's gonna be a star. And this is his first year. He's already averaging like 17 or something points per game. That's incredible for
Yeah.
be a rookie. So I think he's going to do good. A name that I you didn't mention who I think could possibly make it, depending on the Rockets rebuild and depending on where he goes, is Jabari Smith. I think
Hmm.
that he has a very good shot with his play style, especially if he leaves a team, goes and gets a ring or two somewhere else, or if he just stays on the Rockets and becomes like the face of the franchise with Jalen Green. Um, that could definitely be a Hall of Fame candidate right there. But yeah, let's just move on to our next segment then. This is going to be a little bit of a what's the word for it? Comedic relief. That's the right word. Lunch table talk. ChiefsAholic. If you guys don't know who ChiefsAholic is, he's this guy that dresses as the Chiefs mascot, and he's one of the biggest super fans for the Chiefs in their entire history. And he's been in some trouble. Yeah, Mike, do you know anything about this?
I saw he's like a suspect in a bank robbery.
Yeah, no, that was like what happened a while back. He was a suspect in a bank robbery, and I think he actually did do it. But
Hey
uh,
man needed some money for those those tickets for next year.
the tickets, the bets that he's been putting, but he's currently on the run. He's currently on the run. He has a $1 million bond warrant because he cut off his ankle monitor and he's a failing to appear in court. So we don't know where he's at right now. And the memes have just been going crazy. This is where I actually saw like this information from is the memes.
I
There's
haven't seen any of the memes.
yeah, there's pictures of like El Chapo in front of the White House, and it's saying like ChiefsAholic going to the draft whenever it's in Kansas City. It's super funny, man. Like ChiefsAholic, man. I don't know what he's doing, but at the same time, he has a lot of money. Not only is he like a small business owner, but at the same time, he put bets on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl and the Chiefs Patrick Mahomes to win MVP, and he's
Got
obviously
that bag.
cashed out on that. So I don't know what he was doing robbing a bank whenever he like had this money come in, but he's still
Maybe at that time he was low on money from all the bets he already put in, so the money went through, but he just hasn't got it back yet
probably, and now he's probably in Mexico. So
with El Chapo.
yeah, well, not exactly, but yeah.
Is El Chapo in prison? I thought he escaped
Yeah,
again.
he's in prison.
Oh, I thought he escaped again.
No, no, no. I mean, after you escape like two or three times, like you shouldn't be able to escape again. So, no, not that I've heard of. If you're
I
still
thought,
listening,
hey,
please tell me what it is.
he
But
had some weird ways of escaping. Man dug a hole. He actually dug a hole and got out.
he's a legend. I'm kidding. I don't. Just
Clip that. But Chiefs have some bad fans, dude. ChiefsAholic, Jackson and Brittany Mahomes.
yeah,
Chiefs.
the Chiefs, dude, they're a new dynasty, but at the same time, like they're becoming Patriots fans at this rate. So
The
I hate,
hell?
yeah,
Who's our bad fans?
I
Say
know,
me, I dare you.
I know a few.
Who?
I'm not saying
Go
it.
ahead, say it.
No, I know a few.
Say it.
I I just know a few. I'm not dropping names on a podcast. That's just not nice.
Noted.
Yeah, yeah. Take your notes. Take your notes. Um, but anyways, yeah. So that's gonna do it for lunch table talk with ChiefsAholic. He's crazy, and I hope we see him back in America someday.
Hope we
But
see him back in another game.
yeah, I hope that he comes back. I hope that there's like a whole crowd of his like supporters that go to a game and all dress as him. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Possibly. I don't know. But that's gonna lead
Peace,
us to
Hollis, if you're listening, there's an idea for you.
yeah. If you're a Chiefs fan listening, please take our idea. But let's get into our next segment, Mount Rushmore, the biggest fans of professional sports teams. Michael, take it away.
For my first one, I have Mark Wahlberg with anything Boston related. He's a huge Boston fan. He always wearing like a Boston hat. City of he's always in reference with the city of Boston. With his movie Ted, like Ted, Tom Brady was in it. They had to go like get a, I don't even know what it was. It was I forgot exactly what they had to do, but he's always been a fan of Boston. He's like doing at the first pitch for Red Sox. He's been seen rooting for the Patriots and Celtics at their games. But that's my first one. I have Mark Wahlberg, and then after that, I have let me pull it up. Jerry Seinfeld for the Mets. He's been seen at multiple Mets games. He's been thrown out the first pitch multiple times. He's a big New York fan. It's been in Seinfeld a couple times. And yeah, that's after that. I have Matthew McConaughey with Texas. He's always I always see
Not a
like,
professional team, but yeah.
oh, we're doing professional teams.
Yeah.
Well, Texas teams too.
I don't think I've ever seen him root.
I
I don't.
saw he was at like a Rangers game or something. Or is it, oh, I didn't thought it was just
It's all
teams.
right. It's all right. Keep going.
Well, technically they are professional.
What?
Most of these players will be professional. My bad. I did. Well, that's what you did with draft day last week, and I had to switch it. So you're giving me this one, okay? So Matthew McConaughey with Texas. I'll leave it at that. And then I have Drake with the Raptors.
Michael, just wait until I give you this news. That is not what I meant by biggest fans. I wasn't thinking celebrities. I was thinking like super fans, like ChiefsAholic. So, our lists are gonna be just a little bit different, but
Okay, that's
still a great list. Other than
you
Matthew
should have said
McConaughey,
like
what was
super
number?
fans, not biggest fans. But I think of biggest fans of being like their biggest.
I thought that we would have known after just talking about ChiefsAholic, but that's on me. It's on me. I gotta like you guys that are listening. You don't know how specific I have to be with some of my like lists because
Dog, when you put biggest
Michael,
fans, I'm thinking celebrity.
yeah, and I have to be like super specific. Like
When there, okay, when there's two
that's
of
why
us
even
thinking
on
one
this
thing.
I said who are current rookies you could see going in the Hall of Fame. In parentheses, I had to put NBA because I wasn't sure if Michael was gonna be like, oh, what league are we talking about? Like I
Okay,
don't.
that's not. What are you talking about? I wouldn't have done that. I would have got clues from that. But when you say
You
biggest
would have
fans
got
of a
this from
professional
that.
team, I, anyone's gonna think celebrities. Like the biggest.
Then I would have said celebrity fans. I
I don't
could
know
be
how
the
you think
biggest Bucks fan, but that doesn't make me a celebrity.
you're the biggest Bucks fan.
I could be, is what I'm saying. Anybody could be the biggest fan of a team.
I'm just all right. Whatever.
Leave it to the comments, bro. But I'm telling you, I
I'm
would.
just saying when there's two of your hosts are thinking one thing, and then I think that's kind of on
I think
you.
that we need to like translate. Wait, what? Two of our
When
hosts.
John was on the like me and John would sometimes think it's one thing, and then he would say it's not, and we'd
That well,
like
we're dealing with John. So is that really like not expected? No, John doesn't count. John, if you're listening, we love you. Anyways, let's just go through my list. ChiefsAholic is on this list, obviously. One of the biggest fans out there for the Chiefs in recent years. Next one will be Chief Z from the Washington Redskins. And this is actually, he's been going to a Redskins game since 1978. That's a long time. And like I've seen him on like ESPN and stuff like that. He wears a Native American headdress, a red tribal jacket, and carries a rubber tomahawk. And this is actually a funny story. In 2008, a fan stole Chief Z's tomahawk and held it hostage for exchange for a Chris Cooley autograph jersey. So he's pretty big. And then the next guy, I don't know his full name, but he's on TikTok. You know him, the Philly sports guy. He's the guy that like dresses with all like the red or sorry green mohawk, the Eagles jersey. He's on like ESPN all the time. Like whenever they're cutting to fans at Eagles games, he's on there all the time. And
yeah.
from the way that you see him interact on TikTok, you obviously know that he's a super fan, the biggest fan of the Eagles. And then for my last one, probably the most notable one, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Nav Batia. he hasn't missed a Raptors home game since they first began playing in 1995. And I think, don't quote me on this, but I think that he's in the damn, this is not going to help my case, but I think he's in the NBA Hall of Fame if it's true for being a super fan. So I don't know if that's true. I think it might be, but either way, he got some award for being one of the biggest super fans, one of the biggest fans in like all of professional sports at one point. So congrats to him, man. I don't know how well he does like own businesses, so obviously that's how he gets his money. But he sits courtside like a lot of the games. Um, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a chill guy. But yeah, let's hope that our draft day goes good and you understand what I'm saying here. So our draft day is going to be best things growing up as a 2000s kid. I even left Michael an example in parentheses for this one.
Okay, that
Um,
it's pretty easy. Growing up as in the 2000s, that's was the best thing. By the way, you're first.
okay, let's do 7 picks for this one.
Yeah, if there's just two of us, it's gonna be 7 picks.
All right. So and this won't be snake draft either, right? Since there's 2 of us. All
Yeah,
right.
just back and forth.
So for the first one, I'm just gonna go with my personal favorite thing to do growing up. I remember going home and immediately doing this most days, and even whenever I was on vacation, still brought a laptop to play Club Penguin. Number
I knew you were gonna have that on there.
one. I remember being a kid in like first grade, practically on my hands and knees, begging my mom to buy me the membership. Like that's how dedicated I was. Like I wanted that membership, and I had it for a while.
All right, for me, I'm gonna go with what I did all the time, and that was play with my DS
Yeah, I had it on my list, man. The DS was an amazing invention, like especially for road trips. Talk
or
about
DS/DSi because I like had both. So
slash 3DS.
I never had a 3DS.
Oh,
So
bro, you're missing out. That thing was so cool. It was like popping out of the screen. And like, oh man, I remember 3DS. 3DS was better than DS, in my opinion. That's just
I
me.
like the DSi. DSi was the goat.
Well, DSi was big, it's bigger for your hands. Um,
And then
also
the 2DS came out.
2DS was I never had that. I
Yeah, I
never
never had that either.
I don't
That was
know.
weird. It didn't even close. It was just like a little.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
looked weird.
stupid. Um, after that, since you're gonna take the DS, let me just take my example that I left you in parentheses, the Wii.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna take that.
I think that the Wii is just the biggest core memory. And every time I go to my grandparents' house, we pull up the Wii, play some Wii Sports.
You say you went to your grandparents to play the Wii. Well, me and my family went to my grandma's and we always played the GameCube. That's what
Yeah,
I'm taking.
I genuinely like have played a GameCube maybe all of like 5 times in my life.
Bro, I played it so much. There were so many fun games that we played. There was we always played MVP Baseball 2005, arguably one of the best baseball games. And we played James Bond, Mario Kart, Monkey Ball. There were so many fun games we had doing that.
Yeah, I remember whenever I played GameCube was at like my church and it was like Super Smash, like the old Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, we also had that.
For the first ones, yeah. But let's just keep it in the video game realm. Give me the Xbox 360 Connect. Like the Connect was probably one of the greatest inventions ever. In my
What is the Connect? I actually don't know
what?
what like I never used it.
So the Connect was like what you put with your Xbox 360, and like it would pick up like your entire body. Like you didn't use a controller.
Okay. No, I do know. I have used that. I do know what that is now. Yeah.
So then there was like the Connect like Olympics where you would like run in place, and then there was also like
Yeah, we had that. Never mind. I do remember now. That was a good pick. Well, for me, I'm gonna go with Legos. Going home and playing with Legos.
the old Legos are way better than the new ones.
They really were.
And this entire time, I'm just gonna sound like a boomer. Like it was better back then. It just was.
I agree though.
It just definitely was. You know what? I'm gonna stay with electronics. Give me the iPod.
Dang it. I thought I was gonna be able to get that.
No, no. That was like one of the first real like handheld things other than the DS that I was able to get, and like I just remember playing the hell out of it. And then also
I
like
know.
I bought
Dang, I thought I was gonna be able
so
to
many
get that.
iTunes songs, bro. Like If only I had that money still.
All right, that blue iPod. Pretty what a good invention from Apple. They should bring those back.
I was thinking that yesterday. I was studying and they used iPod in an example. I was like, they need to make a new iPod.
Yeah, and so like I'm not getting my kids in the future a damn iPhone, but in
Exactly. Let's get them an
elementary
iPod.
school, I'd get them an iPod, but
Yeah. And you're not going to have that opportunity. So I'm just not
yeah.
getting anything.
Okay, with me, the next thing I'm picking are Nerf guns. I used to play Nerf all the time. That's what even if it wasn't Nerf, we're playing just like shooting like war. We always use our Nerf guns as the guns.
Yeah. Bro, I had some crazy Nerf wars.
Bro,
And John was a part of a lot of them. Uh, so
Wesley was a part of a lot of mine.
yeah. Um, the next one, I have a lot of good ones, but I'm just gonna take this while it's on the top of my head. And man, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I did grow up with it. Smosh on YouTube. I should not have been watching them as a kid, but that just brings back so much nostalgia. I remember like just a few months ago looking up old Smosh videos to like give me that feeling being back in 2010, food battles, all that stuff. Ah,
That was good. And what I'm gonna do, I remember having this. I even brought it. I brought it around to like my grandma's a couple times. The Beyblades,
oh yeah. I never was big into those, man.
but they were sick. They were awesome,
I
dude.
I like played with them.
Beyblade, let it rip. You have to say it every time.
Like I was never a big Beyblade kid, Pokemon kid. I never got into all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, one day mine just like disappeared and I never saw it again. Like,
That's a bummer because I remember in high school, that no lie, in high school, somebody we knew brought in like
oh my god, dude, I remember that.
they let me like rip it, and mine won, so I was excited.
All right, go ahead.
Uh,
This is
so
your sixth pick.
okay, give me sorry, give me I don't know how to word this because just like Disney Channel's holiday stuff, like Fala Holidays and Monstober.
Disney holiday specials. That was a good one. That was good. Um, hmm. You know what? Give me silly bands.
Yeah, I had that. All right, with my last pick, and I still had a load of things to go,
Yeah, I have so
but
much.
but I feel like I don't know, Michael. I'm excited to see your reaction for this, but because we've talked about it in the past, one of the most nostalgic things, the intro for Disney movies. Give
Oh, dang, you just won with that. I
that.
didn't even think of that. That's the most nostalgic thing ever, dude.
I know, bro. Yeah. Captain Jack Sparrow starting it off.
We have all heading.
Here we go. Man, that just brings back so many memories right there.
Damn, well, damn. All right, well, I lost, but with my last pick, there's so many, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the zoo plates.
Say what?
The zoo plates.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
The
yeah. The
animal
super
plates
animal
with like
place.
the yeah.
Oh, not a bad pick. Dude, I had so many that I forgot about while I was looking this up. Like, you remember Brain Pop, where it was Ted and Moby, like the robot and the people?
Oh, brain pop. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
I forgot about that. And then,
Bro, I had Hess trucks on here, tech decks, the Razor scooter, Heelys, slip and slides, Kool-Aid even. That's where I always drank Kool-Aid when I was little. I never really drink Kool-Aid anymore.
yeah, no, I had Stampy Longnose.
You should have picked them. All right,
Uh,
let me go over the teams real quick. So Team Nick consists of Club Penguin, the Wii, the Xbox 360 Connect, iPod, Smosh, Disney Holiday Specials, and Intro to Old Disney Movies. Team Mike, DS/DSi, the GameCube, Legos, Nerf, Beyblades, Silly Bands, and Zoo Pal plates. Let us know in the comments who you think won that draft.
Super solid draft. So that's just going to lead us into the post game here. Like we said, shorter episode today. There wasn't a lot to cover for this week in sports, but obviously we're still going to give you our Tuesday and Thursday episodes. We're staying consistent with it as always. So in the post game, make sure you guys are checking out OuttaPocket Sports and all of our podcasts that are in our little umbrella here for all of our branches. And we have a lot like on the way as well. And for Against the Call, we have a lot of great guests playing that we're excited to share with you. Obviously, we're not going to be like, yo, this is who we're having on. You'll be able to see whenever we have them on, and we're excited for them. But yeah, Mike.
Yeah, we have a lot of podcasts on the way. Like Foil Hat just can't release on their first one. You can listen to it on Spotify right now. I am a part of that one, and I'm going to be a part of a new podcast coming up soon. Stay tuned to know what that is. But yeah, make sure you check out Riled Up, Jay's Fifth Down, Foil Hat, all of our episodes at Against the Call. Make sure you check out all of our Instagrams and socials. Links will be in the description. And yeah, that's all I have for that.
Yeah, we're almost to, if you're watching this on YouTube, almost to 120 subscribers. So please make sure you guys are subscribing there and leaving a like, as always, means a lot to us. And, as we mentioned in the last one, our Spotify and Apple podcast listeners have been going kind of down recently. So make sure you guys stay listening on these and, let everybody know. Who would listen to different podcasts, stuff like that. I think our podcast is pretty good. I'm not being biased or anything. I think that it is.
Not pretty good.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
it's awesome.
Awesome.
It is. It is. It is. And then, make sure that you guys are using code ATC. Sorry. For $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. It saves people money all the time. It really does. We get DMs all the time for people. Maybe not all the time, but a lot of people say they appreciate that $20 off. It gets you off a lot of the fees that SeatGeek gives you. So you're welcome. But that's going to do it for this episode. Michael, do you have anything else you want to say?
That's all for me.
All right. We'll catch you guys in the next one.